The gentlelady from Texas is recognized for 1 minute.
I thank the Speaker. A picture is always worth 1,000 words, and this is a picture of words. It is very clear that the Affordable Care Act has been a lifesaver for many Americans, and this Budget Reconciliation Act is obviously misdirected, wrong-directed, and the 62nd time this body has tried to gut the Obamacare. Thank you, Mr. President, for vetoing it, no matter whether it came from the Senate or the House. We worked without ceasing to get a bill that would cover millions of Americans. It was a deliberative process, and everyone had a right to vote. The Republicans refused to vote for good health care, and here we are. 13 million Americans benefited from $1.1 billion in rebates for health insurance. 105 million Americans, including 71 million Americans in private plans and 34 million in Medicare. Last August, millions of women began receiving free coverage for comprehensive women's care. 17 million children with pre-existing conditions have insurance. 6.6 million young people have insurance. 6.3 million seniors. And, of course, they want to attack Planned Parenthood that provides vulnerable women with health care. I don't know what they view the Budget Reconciliation Act, but I call it the anti-New Year's celebration. And now that we have a new year, we have this horrible bill. Vote against it and vote for 1,000 words right here. I yield back.
Gentlelady's time has expired. Gentleman from Massachusetts reserves.
Gentlewoman from Texas is recognized for 1 minute.
I thank the Speaker. I thank the manager, the gentleman from Maryland, for his leadership. And I thank my good friends on the other side of the aisle. But, Mr. Speaker, I now understand what the issue is. We're talking apples and oranges. My friends on the other side of the aisle don't care about the fact that in 2011, 18% of Americans were uninsured. And in the state of Texas, 28%. California, 23%. Georgia, 22%. And now we found that we are at a point where we've lowered that amount. And now we've lowered the uninsured rate in this country to 11.9%. Those are vulnerable Americans and women and families. We also don't seem to understand when our constituents come to us and talk about premiums. All we need to do is do the constituency service and kind of assure them and show them the direction into the marketplace. Because in shopping around, you can lower your premiums. But the real issue is whether or not we care about making sure that those with pre-existing conditions can actually get health insurance, that those in Medicare can actually protect the Medicare system and make it insolvent in 2030 instead of 2017. The other question is, does this bill even have a plan? Is there an alternative health care plan that the Republicans have put into budget reconciliation? No, they have not. And then they want to take away Planned Parenthood. This is not about disliking Planned Parenthood. It is telling women they do not have a choice to choose their own doctors. And that's what they're doing when they defund Planned Parenthood.
Time has expired.
Mr. Speaker, apples and oranges, they're talking one thing. I'm talking about saving lives and helping Americans keep their health insurance.
Gentleman from Maryland reserves.